So live your life. You stay the dress and I beg for, just live your life. Ain't got no time for no haters, just live your life. Just live your life. Cause I'm a big buck chaser, just living my life. My life. My life. My life. Living my life. My life. My life. My life.
Listen all day, every day on your favorite streaming platform. The clean, fresh sound. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, this intro here just real slow, but anyhow. Good morning, everybody. And we are back with you for another commentary segment of today's Activated Mornings program for Monday, the 23rd of September, 2024. And we are counting down to Christmas. For those that wait, I'm counting down as well. But anyways, all right. Counting down till Christmas for those of you who are already in the Christmas spirit. If y'all want to put up your tree, go right ahead and put up your tree, right? Not a soul stopping. You put up your tree if you want to put up your tree, okay?
And I had some Christmas song. I had a Christmas song in my lineup to play the other day, and I said, I wonder how they will feel about this. I had it there, and tomorrow I'm playing it.
Okay? I just have one song. It's my regular song for Lady Saw. Every year that song still stands. You go look it up. Lady Saw Christmas song. Somebody go comment on the live or on WhatsApp and say what it is, right? Just this one song for Lady Saw every year. You could start playing it all in July for as far as I'm concerned. All right. So good morning, everybody. And guess who's in studio with us?
Thank you very much.
It's Doc. It's Doc. What's up, Doc?
Wonderful to be here again. Yeah, I was here yesterday.
We heard you.
Yes. And,
we heard you.
It was a good program. We're going to be coming back to WEFM. We're going to pin down a day talking about cannabis. We want to talk with you. We talked to those other guys yesterday. Yes. That was a little male-dominated thing. We want a female-oriented concept. I don't know what you think about that, right? I'm looking forward to that.
We know.
You all said you all had lots of questions. So therefore, we are coming back. We got to pick a date, But, it was a great weekend. But I wonder, which is better, the weekend or during the week? I love during the week as well. Why? I love a Monday. Don't you love a Monday, Roleza?
Why you love a Monday? Apart from having to come here, why do you love a Monday?
But I also love a Tuesday and a Wednesday and a Thursday. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying pinning it down to Monday.
Okay.
So why do I love all days of the week? Because it's life. It's 5 more days than the weekend. If you put it that way. If you consider Friday as a weekend.
I could count on one hand the amount of people I know who love a Monday. On one hand.
Well, I'm only saying, I love a Monday. I was going to go. It would take too long to say I love a Tuesday. I love a Wednesday.
You love every day.
I love the day. I love the days of the week and so forth.
So you know what? So Doc is staying true to the song that we played just before coming in. Rihanna and T.I. Live Your Life. All right. So that is exactly what Doc is doing, living his best life. Not a thing wrong with that, Doc. Not one thing wrong with that. All right. So yes, Doc, as we're talking about Mondays, your weekend itself was good apart from the interaction, the program yesterday. I see you at hand.
Yes, they stood hand. Then afterwards I went down to the Leeward side to Chateaubriand, hang out a little bit, came up a little late. And so, but, I've done that before, so it's all right.
Okay. Yeah. Good stuff.
Why, Doc, did you go to they rang the town relay yesterday?
You say one. He went down Leeward.
I didn't.
Oh, yes. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yes, I read about it and so forth. Long ago, when they used to have it, I used to get involved. But if you're not really running and so,
Well, I heard you mention you were an 800-meter champ, so I want to see you run. I feel like I want to put you to run with Shafiq and Handal too.
I used to.
You know what
to.
race I want to see?
I
A
tell you
race
something.
between
I
NDP and
was a I
ULPP
was a road. I used to
parliamentarians.
love road really. I used to love 800 meters the mile, and um, I'll be beaten, but I would give some people some competition. But
Some people like who? Call a name now.
that
Like
fourth
who?
leg from Rose Cottage to Indian Bay. Nobody could beat me on that thing, you know. Nobody could beat me on that road. During my days, I put it that way, of course.
Tell me somebody who you beat. Call a name this morning.
Listen, I'm gonna create a whole kind of problems when I say that. I'm gonna create a whole set of problems when I do that. But of course, it's from a different generation. So even though I mention names, you may not necessarily know those particular names. You know what I mean?
True.
Yes.
All right. But serious note, I want to see a debate between the opposition and the ULP at one point in time. And I'd also like to see an athletics meet between both of them. Just for fun. Just for fun.
Yes.
I'll leave it at that. I'm leaving it just for fun. All right.
All right. Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
All right. So it is Monday morning again. And we know that Doc may be in a minority worldwide in terms of persons who look forward to Monday mornings because of the fact that not everybody is going into a workplace environment that is ideal. All right. So we are going to talk about at this time dealing with a toxic work environment. And for those persons who may need just a little bit of ways to cope, you don't go in with a screw face. You don't go in with your mouth push up. You know, that sort of thing. Yes, we know it's Monday morning. Some persons really and truly have proper reasons for not wanting to go into work today. All right, so we're just going to deal with this. Now, this actually stemmed from a topic or an opinion piece contributed to Eyewitness News with dealing with a toxic workplace. Now, we're not going to read the full article or the full opinion piece. You can go on Eyewitness and you can do so yourself. All right, this was contributed by Kimani Wiseman. Now, having a job is a blessing. It makes you an independent person to provide food, clothing, and shelter for you and your family. However, at some government departments and private firms, it is a nightmare for some workers who have to go into work every day. Waking up early in the morning, everybody should feel elated going into work because it is a place where you spend most of the day from Monday to Friday, and in some cases, those who work from Monday to Sunday. For workers to be productive, they must feel happy and comfortable. There are some bosses and supervisors at some private firms and government departments who would bring their family problems, financial problems, and other problems in their life and take it out on other members of staff, causing these workplaces to be very toxic. In some cases, junior staff also bring their problems in their life to work. Some bosses and supervisors are demons in human forms. They get happiness from making the lives of other members of staff a living hell. It is amazing in this day and age that some workers cannot get time off to collect their salary, pay utility bills, and can hardly get bathroom breaks. All right. So he's talking about all of the other things that can happen or do happen in some workplace environments, and he's offering some tips. Sometimes in life, we have to train our minds to block out toxic people and focus on the duties that we are getting paid for. Request a transfer to another unit or department or ministry. And if you get another opportunity for a new job where it is less toxic, take that job even if the salary is the same or more. Your happiness and peace of mind should be paramount. All right, so we're going to end it there. Again, as I said, we read this off of Eyewitness News. It's an opinion piece that was contributed by Kimani Wiseman, and we're just going to talk a little bit more on it. What are your thoughts on toxic workplace environments?
Well, I agree with Kimani. They do exist, and I agree with some of the things that he says. You know, it's something that we've been dealing with for a long time. Well, I mean, I don't think I'm going to stop, unfortunately, because people are always going to be people. But as he would have stated, it is always best to find whatever is best for you to cope. You have to always remember that your mental health is important above all. And it's not easy for us to put this into practice, because the reality of the world is ain't nobody got time to stop and allow you to get over what you need to get over. You don't have time for that. You just need to suck it up and move on. That's the reality of the world, right? And even the people that tell you take care of your mental health, they're not even provided environments. Talking about the toxic workplace, because you would have presentations and people would come and tell you take care of your mental health and do this and do that, and the environment that they have you working in is not conducive to mental well-being, right? So you have to always remember that your mental health, there's no amount of money in the world that you can pay for your mental health. Sometimes you put up with thing, and before you know it, you destroy yourself. And for others, life goes on, and you're the one suffering. Yeah.
All right. Doc, you?
I think this is a complex problem. It's real. And we started raising it some time ago, over the last couple of weeks, truthfully. But for sure, a toxic environment seems to cause much more staff turnover, people leaving and quitting job, than paid dissatisfaction. Toxicity is great, but it's to understand the elements of a work environment, especially in staff where there's a high turnover, or where there isn't a high turnover, but one person leaves and somebody comes in that disrupts the equilibrium. The person could be a younger individual or older individual, some different views, religious, whatever the case might be, strong persons or weak persons. It's amazing the complexities that develop on a workplace, the competition for promotion, for recognition, for whether the bosses have a handle on things, or whether that handle on things considered to be micromanagement, or whether the business is going down and the bosses do need to have a hand on things because things ain't working right. A toxic environment comes from that particular type of business going out of style. It's fading. In the next couple of years, it will go out. What needs to be done? But the whole thing is mainly morale. How do you motivate your staff generally? And how do staff disrupt that or help motivate themselves? But I think the writer was talking mainly about many persons bringing their issues in. That's tough not to do. You know what I mean? We were just talking about a weekend and then a week. Do you love your work? Do you love coming into work? And if you are a lover of weekends and you don't really love the week, then what that means is that you're not going to adjust yourself from a weekend to the week. And I think it's a good article. I would have written it as slightly different. I think it's a little whimsical, truthfully, but I think people got to dig a little deeper into the processes on this article.
Yeah, I think there was a meme that I read several years ago where they said if you are counting down just for the weekends, you're wasting majority of your life, right? Because if you feel like you only come alive on a weekend, you have 5 days where you're going in and you're dragging yourself into work. So you're basically wasting your life, right? And I think, so it is difficult in a context where, and I have to look at it from, let's say, starting point of managers. There are many times when I think that employees may be under the opinion that managers are autonomous in many instances, and in many instances, they're not, right? Many of these managers also have persons who are over them.
Boards of
directors, etc. Right? Now, this is not to give anybody any a pass in terms of how you treat persons, right? But I think that many times what persons don't realize is many managers are under immense pressure. And because they do not know how to deal with that pressure, because you have profit margins that you have to reach, and everything, the bottom line is always money, that it trickles down to the staff who is below them, right? One of the other things that we also have to look at is the fact that without bringing in that income, you as that junior staff cannot be paid, right? However, I think one of the things that tends to happen a lot is that people don't know how to speak to persons, right? Yes, you're coming in to do a job, but there are many times when just the tone of voice that is used can make a situation much worse than it really needs to be, right? I also think that there are times when persons or some managers or some places allow things to slide so much without nipping things in the bud that when they do try to put certain things in place and try to ensure that there are adherence to certain rules and policies that were in place before, that if they don't nip things in the bud, things slip and slide. And when you try to take control, it becomes a bit of a challenge, right? I think also that there are many persons who have to be honest with themselves. You have to be honest and know, is this the job that I actually want to be doing? Do I feel any levels of satisfaction coming out of this job? Satisfaction doesn't always mean what it is that you get at the end of the month based on your salary. Satisfaction has to be that intrinsic reward. Am I actually contributing to this organization? Do I actually feel as if I'm making a difference? Right? So there are many times when persons have to do that soul searching to know, is this the place that I really want to be? How many persons, and I've said this repeatedly on this program, I'm going to keep saying it every single time. How many persons enjoy just being miserable? Right? How many persons know that there's an opportunity for them to get out of a particular situation and they choose not to take that option? You have the opportunity, let's say, to apply for another job and you choose not to apply for that other job. You choose to stay in this particular situation or this particular job. You'll be miserable and you, by extension, make everybody else around you miserable, right? So sometimes I think that it's one thing with the toxic work environment, but I do think that there are ways that it can be alleviated. And even if it comes down to a situation of where you just do your job and you go home, now do your job and doing your job to the best of your ability and going home, then I can totally understand that.
Roleza, let me come back in here. I don't think that's me, but you know, some things were said there in the article. What is a bathroom break?
How long should it be for?
How long should it? If somebody takes a 3-minute, if I go to the bathroom, that'll be done in 3-4 minutes. You know what I mean? If somebody takes half an hour or an hour in a bathroom break, it's something wrong. And somebody takes that 3 times or what else is it? If somebody goes to pay an electricity bill, but they come back with a shopping bag from a popular store, a boutique, and so forth like that, does it mean they really went to pay that bathroom bill? Does that happen?
They pay the bill and collect the thing on the way?
Yes, that might be it. But then it's the length of time that people, the managers and so forth are looking at it and say, this is something that's going on. Meet a chief friend. Is there a lot of that going on? Do you see a lot of people on the streets shopping? If people at work, who's doing the shopping? Retired people? You know what I mean? So I think the last thing I would say is that, as you talk about bringing it up, how difficult is it? You have a toxic environment at home with your husband or your wife.
Yeah.
And as you leave the house, you pull down a mask and say, that's gone. You are not thinking about the fact that he hit you this morning whilst you were at work. You've stopped thinking about that, or that there was an argument, or he said this about you, or whatever. How can that happen? So it's supposed to stop, but I think it's also very difficult. And where the anxieties and the depression and that's why in some places they make it so that and the tips and so forth, how staff members knowing a little bit about their home situation, not knowing too much, that you're indulging in their lives, but you're able to give them some coaxing, some encouragement, and to be a buddy or a BFF, for them and to help them through that particular time, because those things are very much linked.
But that's another thing too, Doc. So there are times when I would say if I've encountered somebody and they've responded to me in a particular way, I might not take it personally in that first instance, because my thought process would be like, I don't know what type of day you're having. Now, really and truly, whether or not you're having a good or bad day should not influence how it is you speak to me, right? Because really and truly, I had nothing to do with you having a bad day. So really and truly, you're supposed to be able to separate your issues and deal with me, especially if it's in a customer service related type of environment. You're supposed to know how to deal with me a little bit more respectfully. So I think one of the other things to sometimes, even working within a particular work environment, is maybe trying not to take things too personally. This is not trying to be dismissive of people with negative attitudes or really bad attitudes that really should work on it and should pull themselves together. But I think if you're trying to find a way to cope with working in a toxic environment, one of the key things would be to not take it personally. You might just have to chalk it up and say, well, this is how this person is, and you move along and carry on with your day.
Honestly, I agree with you with that. Sometimes,
All right, so we are going to take a pause at this time and entertain our quotes desk. Hi, good morning. Good morning. How are you?
From Quotes Ready Cash. I'm well, and you?
I'm good.
Sounds like you had a great weekend.
It sounds so.
Yes, it sounds that way.
Songs are deceiving. All right. So what's up with us with quotes today?
Well, this week we have a lot in store for our customers. Let's think of this week as the Customer Appreciation Week, the Give Back Week. So, like I said, we have a lot of in store. We have giveaways, we have treats, we have dry pedicures for our customers, hand massages. So every day of this week, we have something. For customers who take a loan of $3,500 or more, you're entered into a draw to win a 65-inch TV. A 65-inch TV. Just think about that. You don't have to. You don't have to visit Russell anymore. You don't have to visit Russell anymore.
Tell me about it, huh?
So for those customers who take the loan of $3,500 or more, you're also getting a gift basket. So like I said, big things happening at Quotes Ready Cash this week. We have the regular loans. You come in, you bring your forms of IDs, your most recent job letter, most recent salary slip, your most recent utility bill in your name, no deposit needed, and just like that, you get a loan with Quotes Ready Cash. I mentioned a utility bill. I know not everyone would have a utility bill in their name, so if they bank with a bank or a credit union, you can bring a statement with the address of where you're living. We accept that as proof of address as well. So you could be renovating, you need vehicle parts, your insurance run out, you need some funds to take you through the rest of the month. Just come on down and visit us. Even if you have an existing loan or you have an item paying, you might say, oh gosh, I don't qualify, I have something paying already. Don't worry about that. Customers are allowed 2 cash loans on their accounts. So just come in, you speak to myself, you speak to Amigo, and we'll fix you up nice. We also have the payday loans, where you get a loan of up to $1,000. You repay within 3 months. This specific loan is absolutely interest-free and hassle-free, so no interest on this at all. It's basically like a pick-me-up, like I mentioned before. You want something to carry you through the rest of the month. We also do business loans, but the requirements are a little different, of course. So you need 2 forms of IDs. Your business must be in operation for at least a year. So you present your business certificate, your application for registration, the utility bill for the business. You present your sales and purchase records for 3 months, your 6 months bank statement, You state the purpose of the loan, and just like that, you get a loan of $27,000, up to $27,000, because you may not need so much. So you get a loan of up to $27,000 just for your business. You can do anything you want for your business. I mentioned bank statement, but I know everyone don't deposit monies. So for those persons who don't do so, if you keep your receipt books, if you have a book and you write down your information, just bring your receipt books, bring your invoice books, bring your notebooks, bring everything. The microfinance officer, Miss Williams, she would go through it with you and she would sort you out real good. We also do the agriculture loans. This is geared towards persons in the agriculture sector, the farmers, the fisher folks, and the interest is way lower. So just come on in. We are located opposite the post office, the blue building opposite the post office. We are open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We can be contacted at 498-5380. You can call us direct or WhatsApp, send us a message. You can reach us online on Facebook, Ready Cash St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Instagram, Ready Cash SVG, or www.shopquotes.com. You find us everywhere. Just remember, with Quotes Ready Cash, you can get your loan interest-free, hassle-free, no down payment needed, and you get your loan same day as well. Something to think about.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. So thank you very much for that update.
Thank you for having me.
All right. I look forward to hearing from you again on next Monday.
All right.
All right. So take care and have a great week.
You too.
All right. Bye. And that was our Quartz desk for today.
This month, we're rolling out the red carpet for you with a loan from Quartz Ready Cash. As part of our Customer Appreciation Month, we're giving you a chance to win a brand new 65-inch TV. It's easy. Just apply for any Ready Cash loan of $3,500 and above, and you could be the lucky winner. Imagine catching your favorite shows on a screen that's bigger and better than ever. This incredible offer is only available through September. Visit your nearest Quartz or Quartz Ready Cash location today or apply online at www.quartz.com. Don't miss out on your chance to upgrade your entertainment and experience with Quartz Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Terms and conditions apply. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, so we're just going to jump right back into it so that we can wind up this particular topic. All right.
Yeah, so somebody said, somebody is saying, don't tolerate any bad management. Simply tell him or her that they are terrible managers and leave. No job is worth your sanity, and the business is on it. And the business is on its way down if the management is that bad. So just get out. Find a job that you will happily do, even if you don't get paid. Have a passion. And they're also asking, shouldn't the interview process identify a problem employee in the first place? And it is an opportunity for the employee to determine if the job fits their goals. If you have a bad employee or employer relationship, this is a company culture issue more than an employee issue.
Yeah, that part about the honest truth is that there are many persons who apply for jobs because they need the job, right? It's not necessarily because it's a passion that they're tied to, etc. Many persons apply because, not being out on the streets and asking people for money is not something that they want to be doing. So the thing of it is that, but what it is that I will say is that you can be unhappy, but you do not need to stay unhappy. Yeah. So even if you found a job that that is not necessarily what you want to be doing at that point in time, the goal really should be to do something or align yourself with something that actually brings you some sort of happiness, or at least a little bit of peace, or a little bit of reward, right? Both financially and in terms of how it is that you actually spend your day. So yeah.
Somebody else said there's a certain type of work culture here and around the Caribbean. Some abuse freedoms and feel irreplaceable. If the culture doesn't change, we'll be stuck.
Which is true. I can understand that, especially in certain certain places that can be said that there is a workplace culture where we're very lackadaisical, right? And this was why I made the point of not nipping things in the bud, because if you don't, and then it develops into a workplace culture, you have a problem that it's going to be very difficult for you to pull back and try to address.
Well, there was another.
No.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people who worked in the Caribbean and they moved to England, Canada, or United States or somewhere else, and their attitude has to change. During the winter, they have to get out there, be on time, and so
Went to drop a rain, come here, we are on his work today.
They ain't getting a break to go and pay their electricity bill in England and so forth. Although now online things and so forth are allowing those sort of things to take place. And we have that was in St. Vincent too, pay your bill online. The thing is, I believe, and I always reflect back on relationships. Workplaces are little like relationships. They may start off good. Somebody interviews very well. You've met somebody, you like them, you fall in love with them, but along the way, things may happen to change, whatever it is. And in a workplace, in a similar way, circumstances, dynamics, other people come in, the business going down, business going up. If the business is going up, you will feel you need a piece of that. Or you make a suggestion and your suggestion is not taken on. How do you feel? All kind of things. But for sure, I think that the successful businesses are the ones that are able to manage these potential and actual toxicities well. And they're able to get a lot more productivity done, as opposed to spending a lot of time on mending this and correcting this and so forth. So,
Yeah.
As it relates to time off for things, I believe that a workplace should allow its workers to have time off to go and do things like pay bills and so on. If you're working Monday to Friday from 8 to 4, when are you getting a chance to pay bills? Yes, we know that the online thing exists, but not everybody wants to do online. Not everybody knows how to do online. And I just think that you should have some time off, because when your work closing up the same time as everything else, when are you expected to get time off to do things? Not everybody has family that could help. I'm going to put myself, I have nobody. It's just me. Every single thing I have to do, every line I have to stand up in, is me have to do it. I don't have the luxury of calling up somebody and say, come and do this to me.
You mean
if
this
I
is
have
for
to do that, I have to pay. So I would like if my work would say, because you're working between this particular time and when you're finished working, you don't have time, everything else close up as well. Take a time like what for teachers. I don't know if it's the entire government service for teachers, according to where you work, you get salary time. Not the ones in town, which I don't agree with. I think they should still get a little bit more to go and do their things. But if you live outside of Kingston, you get a half a day or a whole day according to where you are located to go and deal with your business. And I like
But
that.
is this for somebody who is working? Go ahead and take the call. Is this for somebody who's working a Monday to Friday?
Yeah, well, for teachers, we know how teachers
Right.
work.
All
So
right.
sorry.
Joshua, good morning.
Morning, Dianna.
Good morning.
I'm listening to you, but what you have to realize, as harsh as it sounds, we're living in a real world. It cannot work that way. What happens if there are 10 persons who need to be off at the same time?
No, they
what
have
happens
to
to the business?
organize it in a way. Well, for teachers, what we would have done at our school, we have a book and we decide who is taking salary at what times. If you have 2 teachers in a class, both of them cannot go take their salary time at the same time. So you say this group, you go at this particular time, and another group, you go at this particular time. I still believe that those provisions must be made. I still going to advocate for that.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way because we don't want it to work that way. Remember, we are human beings, and every law and rule that we have is we put it in place. Not the animals come and say, humans, you must do this. We put our laws in place.
I know I only have 3 minutes. Okay,
so I take some of your time.
I just thought I'd drop that. Okay. Dr. Thompson, I'm glad you're on this morning, because every time I hear the word beat, it sends shivers through my body.
Yes.
You know,
I did.
in our home, we do not joke about any violent act at all. You know, sometimes you're talking to somebody, say, I'll go upside your head or I'll kick your butt. They don't mean that they'll do it.
Yeah.
But whenever I hear that, I feel deep, deep pain. Dr. Thompson, I used to be a teacher as well.
Yeah.
And if I could turn back the hands of time, I would get on my knees, take my shirt off, and get that urine-soaked leather strap, and have every student that I ever hit whip my backside.
Oh.
No teacher at all has the right to hit someone's child. Some people say it made them a better person. You know, it made me a person that starts with a word that starts with B. It made me a very bitter person. Dr. Thompson, I used to get licks because I stuttered. Right?
Yes,
there was a sadistic monster used to stand over me with a leather strap that he took home on weekends and soak in urine and come back and whip my backside. And for people who stutter, I have a speech impairment. A lot of people won't know that. For people who stutter, it's extremely difficult to call words that start with a vowel or something like that.
Yeah, they say, get it out.
Right. And you know the amazing thing is, for people who stutter, you could sing. I've never heard a singer stutter. Yeah. This guy would stand over me with a leather strap when we had tables. And, 2 times 3, he points at me, and I would sing 6 because it was easy to sing. And he would whip me, spit it out, you dummy. Yeah. That made me so bitter you would not believe it.
Yeah.
And I would end by saying this. I believe in divine intervention. I wanted to be a police officer because I glorified police officers. I used to like to see police officers beating living daylights out of somebody.
Wow.
And my only desire was to be a wicked policeman. But unfortunately, back then, you had to have 2 qualifications. You had to be stupid, and you had to be more than 5 feet 4 inches. Guess how tall the Lord made me, Dr. Thompson?
Yeah, how tall?
Guess how tall he made me?
Half an inch less than that. Huh?
5 feet 4 inches. I was already stupid.
Yeah. No.
But he didn't make me 5 feet 5 inches.
Can I ask you a few questions? Quick.
Sure.
And I'm asking these questions not because I want to.
You
were talking about a teacher beating a child. What about a parent beating a child? All right. One.
I don't know.
That's the first thing. And then secondly, do you think that threat, I'm just asking this, that threat of somebody standing over you helped you overcome your stuttering, or did something else help you overcome it? Did that have any impact on it at all? Even though it made you bitter?
No,
did it have
none at all. It drove fear into me.
Yes.
There's a lady you might know, you'll be too young, but Ingrid Williams, she lives somewhere in there.
I know Ingrid Williams. I know Ingrid Williams. Yes. She was married. Yes, Ingrid, I know her well, yes.
Yes.
I know her sister.
What is helping me with my stuttering right now? I still stutter a lot. And if you look at me on any of my videos, you see that I use my hands a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's helped me because the hand helped to bring the words out. And Mrs. Williams told me where I continue school. Focus on something, find a focal point, and use your hands a lot because you are an excellent writer. So he who reads well, writes well. So for folks, I'm going on to the parents now, and the word I do not like the word beaten. I hate that word. You beat a donkey, right?
I'm an animal lover. I don't like you hear you guys say that at all. But just answer quickly. Do you think that's allowed? Whatever word you use, punish.
There's a difference. Past me 3 minutes already, but I must share this. Yeah. A guy went to court for beating someone. He said to the judge, Your Honor, I didn't beat her, I just gave her a little smack. So he called, back in those days, they used to do this. He called the bailiff. He gave him a rod. He said, I want you to beat this guy, because the guy said, beat and smack is the same thing. The judge said, I want you to
smack him.
Proceed and beat this guy. When the guy got the first hit, he said, please, stop. The judge said, sir, but you said beating and smacking is the same thing. You get the point?
Yes, I do, yes.
Right.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
So again, I love you guys and I love this forum. And Dr. Thompson, please, in your position, try to do something about getting the strap, that piss, that urine soaked strap out of the schools. It doesn't do our students any good.
That doesn't exist anymore.
That doesn't
All right,
exist.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. So
Well, I'm
let's
glad it doesn't.
So,
all
Take
right.
care.
Thanks, Joshua. All right, so let me take a quick ad break. We won't end the live. We will just leave it running, right? But let me take a quick ad break, and then we'll get right back into wrapping up this session.
Get your frames, lenses, and sunglasses at Quartz Optical, now with an extended warranty to give you the peace of mind that your purchase is protected from the day you get it. Accidents happen. Get hassle-free, unlimited repairs for 24 months. If it cannot be repaired, it will be replaced at no additional cost. Keep your eyewear performing at a peak level with an extended warranty from Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Visit quartzoptical.com for details.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Cloud9 wants you to know that they're having their biggest sale ever. Save between 50 to 80% on everything store-wide. Shoes and clothing for the whole family, toys, household items, swimwear, and more. Don't miss out on this crazy sale. Everything must go. What are you waiting for? Get it before you miss it. Offer applies while stocks last. Some restrictions apply. Cloud9 is open Mondays to Fridays 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturdays 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Boy, so where you getting crashing on? Your brakes real good, boy.
Now brakes alone good enough. My tires good too.
Tires? Where you get them tires, boy?
Out by Caribbean Tire Plus, man. They out in Addersville. Can't miss it. Look for the orange container on them. Plenty parking space and open 7 days a week all thing, man. Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And on Sundays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call them today. Caribbean Tire Plus, 784-432-4786 or email ctiresplus@gmail.com.
The flavor nice, it's locally made. Affordable price, Lord, up to $3 retail. When you see we line it with the red and white case, show me what you like it. It's cigarette from Empire. Holdings Limited, it's cigarette from Empire. Holdings Limited, with over 60 years experience. Hold the best tobacco, best ingredients. Yeah. This is your boy Lou to say, support local, buy your cigarettes from Empire Holdings Limited. 10 cigarettes in a pack for up to $3 retail. Remember, smoking is not for minors.
Listen all day, every day on your favorite streaming platform. The clean, fresh sound. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, so the time in SVG, it is 8:52, and honestly, this hour moved very, very, very quickly. All right, so we are talking on the topic of how to cope with a toxic workplace environment. Now, Dianna said something interesting regarding time off that I kind of want to take her up with, right?
Right. I say, all right, let's go.
No, and it's in relation to what, so you mentioned more so the payment of bills. Right?
Yeah.
I think for me, I still find it a little difficult to hear a person saying that they want time off to pay certain bills.
Why?
Like
Because
if
of
you're going
online?
because of the online facility. And
anything online.
so this is what I'm going to ask you. Is it a case where you do not trust being able to pay something
I
online?
like going in the actual store and get something about being in the actual place and getting my receipt from the actual people feels way better than online.
It feels
stuff
better
for
or it
me.
feels safer.
That's
you
what I
mean, you mean
mean.
get your receipt from Vinlec, from
Water
Cable Wireless,
Authority,
and so forth.
everybody, yeah, right
Because
there.
because there, and I think this
trust
is
that
this is
process
what
way more.
Yeah. But
But,
if you go
yeah.
online, you get a receipt. It's electronic. It's
You
stored.
get it,
When you get a
yeah.
piece of paper, the paper
Maybe I'm
dulls.
just old school,
I
but
know
there's
you're
just
old
something
school.
about it. Just
But hear what? That's why they're going
prefer-
through a $30 million digital transformation. We have to sit down and talk to persons like you, Dianna.
Yeah.
Yes, and there be persons who are tough,
Yeah.
tough to change.
All right, we
No,
have
I
a
ain't saying I would never change.
we
I
have
would
a call.
I ain't saying
Kojo.
I would never change though. That's just what I'm yeah.
Hi, Kojo. Morning.
Good morning. Dianna,
Hi.
your idea of time off to go do things. I'm going to give you one example that happened to us here in my country, in my team. We used to do half a day for when Christmas comes. The person who do Christmas Eve, get half a day to go shop, and the other person when New Year's Eve come, they get a half a day. It took one person to spoil all that.
Oh Lord, one man just can shift spoil the whole flock.
Yeah, because what thing happened? He got his New Year's Eve half a day, and then he said he entitled to his thing because as far as he concerned, he entitled to it. So he took his half day, and after that, nobody get anything. So the time off thing, that half thing, it has to come from some serious respect for each other. Because it takes one person to spoil that whole thing. That's it.
And that is true as well.
All right, thanks, Kojo. All
right.
You're finished?
No, I wasn't.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I lose my train of thought, so I think I have to be finished.
My apologies. My sincerest apologies.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So this is the thing, Dianna. And I'm not even trying to be on Diana's case, but
Yes, it's okay.
I realized that there are many employees who think along those lines, and I'm thinking of an organization where if you have the majority of persons who want time off to pay bills that can actually be paid online, then what happens to the productivity of the organization? Then you're going to have people being upset with the boss because they can't get the time off. And, this is what in some ways can contribute to a toxic work environment or a toxic way in which you view the boss, because you think that you are entitled to this particular time off because you can't get it. You're upset. You're bringing with your bad mood. These sort of things. And even when you said it, I'm there thinking of, and this is why I had to ask you, is it a case where you're working Monday to Friday? Because if you are working Monday to Friday and you have the ability to pay the bills on a Saturday, one Saturday in the month to take care of everything, then do you still think that you need to have the time off?
First of all, the Saturday is their personal time, and we have to bear in mind that there are persons of the Seventh-day Adventist faith who don't do anything ungodly within those hours. So, if we're going to respect people's religion and people's beliefs, you're going to have to respect the fact that as an Adventist, you would not be able to do anything on a Saturday. One,
you Adventist?
I have been, but I have not. You can say I
Yes.
backslide, right? Right. I have been breaking the Sabbath for the longest while, anyway. So, yeah. But I just still believe that people should be entitled to this time. If first of all, if you go to the workplace and when you get there, you know that there isn't anything in place for you to get this time off, I would not say must go and make noise with the boss and say, hello, this thing should come in. We should bring this thing in, right? But I believe that it should be something. You should be allowed to get some time off if it is that you're working Monday to Friday, morning till evening. If you work in a shift system, that's fine because you have time between to do whatever you need to do. But
and then somebody could also say that that's my personal time.
Yeah, but I think
before
usually,
getting in.
usually this is the case. Usually this is the case. The problem is not everybody pays a bill at the end, just 2 days before the end of the month. Some people pay it 10 days into the month.
That
Some
is
people
true.
pay it a week before. So you basically discuss that with your boss. Boss, I got a bill to pay. Can I have that permission and so on? And usually that is allowed. But putting it down in stone that you are allowed a half day, even though you ain't paid a bill, even though you send somebody to pay the bill, you now take an afternoon off because
that's been dishonest.
That's the point. Listen, I was
if it is that you are designated this time.
I was comparing to what you said. You said very, very carefully that work and going and paying a bill on Saturday is your personal time.
I said you could argue that that's their personal time. Yes.
And at the same time, we're arguing that your time during the week or during work hour is also my personal time as well. So having it both ways, you know, during that personal time, you're being paid and so forth for that. And you've talked about all the different circumstances, people who have shift, this, the other. Most of the time, those persons who don't usually get that particular time off. But I think you're saying it has to be put into contract that I have that Friday afternoon, twice a month off, because lines are so long. I need one afternoon to pay bill.
What is wrong with people getting? What do we celebrate on the 1st of August? Are we not emancipated? Because if you're telling me my work is telling me this, that sounds like a different version.
When the business fail goes down, we say, I can go to another job now and do the same thing. I'll tell you something. What managers and so forth, they're saying here in St. Vincent, it's often difficult to find people who want to work or people, good workers, hard to find.
A person so professional with what they're doing as well. It's the professionalism it seems to be a problem.
Yes. But I think Dianna, I could understand what you're saying. Of paramount, a person, the worker, right, far outstrips that of the survival of the business. And I think that these things have to be balanced.
And I think that the reason why back in the day teachers got that time, what you call the hard area, if you're working in hard areas or whatever it was called, is because we didn't have the technology available, but we do have it now. So why are we not using the technology to make our lives easier?
Okay, yes, you can. Yes, I know that you use the technology to make your lives easier. Yeah, I'm arguing with that. But bills are not the only thing that people have to take time off.
Right. So that's the difference. So that's the difference. Yeah.
You go to a doctor.
Right.
To meet with your lawyer, to go to the school to meet a counselor for your child. It's usually you tell me,
and it's at the discretion as well.
Yes, it's a discretion
at the discretion of the employer.
Because it's not coming up once a month.
Yeah.
Clearly, if somebody is ill and they have to go to a doctor every month, but usually somebody gets ill and there's a few days after that and they get better and the doctor clears them and say, well, just come back, you know, at a given time. The person goes in the evening or whatever the case might be. But I think what you're really saying is what we started talking about.
Which is?
You are a lover of your weekend.
I don't think it's
I'm being a little pedantic. I'm trying to move on to another topic. And during the week, right, your commitment and so may not be as strong as your commitment to yourself on the weekend. I love that comment you made. The weekend is mine. You understand? And so
what do we expect people if you're working 5 days a week? All is Saturday and Sunday.
I don't know. It's 9 or 2.
Okay. I mean, all is Saturday and Sunday. What's wrong with wanting to have those only two full
but then you also
some people don't even have that too.
But then you also wanting to use your paid time to take care of personal things, right? So that is where the challenge is.
Some of these places are closed on Saturday and Sunday.
It's true.
No, well, right. So that's why I kind of made a differentiation with paying bills online, because if you have that facility, I don't want to hear somebody tell me they leave in my place of employment to go to pay a bill when you have the opportunity to pay it online. You know, so
but you see, you can't.
But I would use my discretion if you tell me that you want to go to a doctor. That's different.
You can't go shopping at the weekend after hours and so forth. You know, the shopping. I'm picking up that it's a little more than paying a bill. Yes, I.
I'm not talking about people going shopping. You do them. I that's a different something for me. I'm talking about going shopping. Let me tell you
All right,
something. As somebody who was walking and where I was walking over in Cleverly, there are a lot of things that I never got to do just because I couldn't find the time to do it because of where I was walking. And if I have to do it, I have to take a time off to do it. There were times when I never even got to pay my bills because the time when I was given the salary time to do that, I had to take my son to the doctor, and I decided I would use my time to do that instead.
And that was a good time for you to try pay them online. All right, so folks, it is Monday morning again, and it is the start of the work week. So for everybody, I think you just have to do a little bit of self accountability. I'm not even talking in terms of this whole conversation, the ending of conversation that we had with Dianna, but in terms of you being on the workplace, are you giving off your best? Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Yes, we know that not all managers are the easiest to deal with, but you have to try to find a way to cope within that particular environment. And if it's one that you just do not want to be a part of, you find a way out of that situation. All right. So we are going to have to jump out at this time. It is 9:05, and it's time for us to bring to you today's ECCB currency exchange rates.